Srini, you have lost over 6 kilos, but more importantly, you've more than doubled your PBs in the gym. You've gotten so much stronger, so much fitter. How does it feel?
Amazing, amazing. To be honest, this is probably the best I've felt physically, but also mentally in a long, long time. Pretty stoked at the consistency and the fact that I've managed to keep this going. So just feel really, really good.
Yeah, and so obviously you're a super busy guy, important, got a family. What was your biggest challenge to your exercise, nutrition, whatever else before we got started?
I mean, Tom, like I guess we talked about this the first time I met, right? Like I've been probably dealing with both health and weight related sort of adventures for the better part of 15 years. Weight loss was never a problem, but it was always yo-yo climbs. So, crash diet, drop a whole load of weight, feel good, find I've put it back on quicker than I've lost it. So consistency was always a problem. So periods of guilt eating and guilt starving, which never quite worked. Exercise probably straight in my comfort zone. So, bit on the treadmill, not much, body pump classes, but didn't really push myself out of my comfort zone. Kept thinking routine would bring results. I mean, if I look back at what we've done together, weight training for me has been an absolute eye opener. It's actually quite addictive. I genuinely love being able to push. If I compare what I lifted when I first met you versus what I'm doing today, I generally love the feeling, but it's addictive enough that, as you said, I've got a young family, fairly crazy job, but 4 days a week I'm up at 5:20 and in the gym by 6 because I know the rest of my day runs really, really well. Similarly with food, I just think I'm a lot more aware of what I eat. I think the macronutrient coaching and targets helps me. Protein's a game changer. Like I know everyone thinks it's a bit of hype, but I actually believe in sort of the benefits that it brings to you and your body. And I sort of keep, I borrow from you, but I quote your holy trinity, which is exercise, nutrition, and sleep. And I probably credit, for me, apart from everything else, loads of really, really good mental well-being, to be honest, and generally quite a good place to be in.
Yeah. So happy to hear that, man. And obviously, you've lost over 6 kilos of fat, and crazily enough, you've doubled your deadlift, more than doubled your squat, and your bench PBs. Which result are you most proud of and why?
I think it's the consistency and the extent to which my weights go. The fact that, I mean, if you told me I would deadlift or squat the levels that I am today, I would have laughed at you when we started training. Obviously super stoked about the numbers I hit, but the fact that I turn up week after week and, like the last time I went in summer holidays, I got you to give me a program and actually ended up going to the gym 4 times, which was unimaginable for me. But I did it because I actually enjoy that.
Mhm.
Uh, and the consistency. Like I'm amazed at the consistency because it's been going for a while now and I can't, I generally enjoy it. So I think that would be for me the weight loss. I've had it before. My weight loss is probably at a slower rate now, but I actually recognize that that's a more consistent way because while the scale of weight loss has been lower than before, I think the feel on how I look and how my clothes fit and the way people notice it is noticeably different. I think I feel leaner. As you know, I've done a couple of DEXAs through this process, DEXA scans, and look, the results speak for themselves there, right? Because there's been fat loss and muscle gain. And fundamentally, I can't wait to hit my annual medical this year. I'm hoping the markers show this up as well.
I'm sure they will. And how has that new strength and fitness affected your energy, confidence outside of the gym?
Uh, really positively, really positively. Like work, I mean, I'm not alone. Everyone's found the last year quite stressful, quite challenging with everything that's happening in the world. So there's a lot on. But to be honest with you, the days that I work out are probably the days where I do walk out there ready to take on most things. So genuinely feel quite positive and stoked. At home, I probably have more energy. It's generally quite noticeable, can do more with my kids, with my other half. And it's the same with friends. I mean, when they see me around, gone are the days when people notice it, but people also notice and respect the way simple things like, the fact that my habits are different, the fact that I make active choices. Gone are the days when people would want to try and influence that because they recognize the determination. So I think it's generally a really, really good feeling, lots of positivity. And, you genuinely, like I'm my mid 40s, you sort of feel quite comfortable as well because this is where you want to be health wise. With a young family, you feel a lot more comfortable. So generally, it's landed really, really well with those around me, but most importantly with myself. I think the confidence it's given me has been brilliant.
And no fear going on that skiing trip.
Absolutely not. I think I'm probably looking forward to I learned how to ski 23 years back when I was didn't forget the weight, I was unfit. And I remember just how much I dreaded it. Now over the years I've enjoyed it, but like last year, 6 months into training, I love the sensation. This year is going to be something else. I genuinely feel like my legs are the strongest they've ever been. So I'm looking forward to the slopes next week.
So, what would you say to someone who perhaps is on the fence about joining this coaching program?
I would say do it. Like if I look back at my journey, and I think the cost of living is what the cost of living is today, but we all spend so much money and so many other things. I did have to think long and hard, but as someone said to me once, it's also about accountability of these journeys because personal health and personal habits are often the hardest thing. And it's easy to beat yourself up and say, I need to have the willpower to do this all on my own. But actually, there's a lot out there that we're not educated on. And, for me, the biggest thing of our partnership has actually been learning, not just about exercise and technique, but about nutrition and other factors. And so I would say definitely go for it, right? Because for me, Tom, apart from learning through you, I've also appreciated the flexibility, the odd occasions I've had injuries. You've always been quite good at helping me recognize how I adapt and adjust my weight programs. When I've had bouts of sickness, it's been quite good at flexing through. And, I can always count on you even when, I'm randomly trying to figure out how much a hexagon bar weighs. So I know how to record my weights properly to get a text off you or, just get coached in every single possible way. So I'd say, jump, try it. Uh, my experience of working with you, you're very professional, but you're also very flexible. So if people do try it and they don't think it's working, it's not like you to force someone to stay in a program against their will. I mean, subject to your terms and conditions, of course. So I'd say absolutely go for it. I would be very surprised if anyone regretted making that choice.